Most coaches think that hitting 7K a month means more sales, spending more time on content, more DMs and more outreach and more launches. But what if those things are exactly what are keeping you stuck where you are? Today, we're going to look at the actual maths behind building an online coaching business to a £7,000 a month in recurring revenue. And by the end of it, you're going to see that the way that most coaches are trying to achieve this is the thing that's keeping them furthest away from it. So before we get into it, why £7,000 a month? There are a few reasons. £7,000 a month is more than achievable as a one-person operation. No need for staff, no need for a sales team, for setters, for VAs, for closers, no need for paid advertising, outgoings can be kept fairly low, and at that point you can live a very good lifestyle and not have to worry about things like VAT either. It's also more than achievable by just having one offer, a one-to-one coaching offer, with no need for different tiers, no need for group programs, and no need to hire coaches to fill up with other clients. Yes, launches can accelerate you getting there, but £7,000 a month can be achieved by just doing the basics really fucking well. And when I say the basics, I mean coaching your clients, keeping your clients, getting really good results, putting out content without it consuming your entire fucking life, and utilizing referrals. And I know when I put it like that, it sounds almost too simple, because that's it. That's the business. So the question then becomes, why are so many coaches so far away from that? The answer to that question is in the maths. You might not be working towards £7,000 a month right now. You might be working towards 3K a month, 5K a month, or 7K a month. That's fine. The principles that I'm about to go through apply to everything. I've used £7,000 to make the point as clearly as possible. There are only two numbers that actually determine how hard your business is to run on a day-to-day basis. Number one is your retention, how long your clients stay. And number two is your price point, how much people pay you. When those two numbers aren't where they need to be, it just puts more pressure and more need for time and effort on everything else. Content, DMs, sales conversations, calls, that sort of thing. But those things are where most coaches are having to spend 90% of their time, effort, energy, and mental bandwidth. Constantly grafting and searching for new leads. Constantly having to figure out new lead magnets and different ways to get people to put their hands up. Always thinking about where the next influx of people is going to come from and when they're going to run the next launch. And yes, those things will always be part of running an online business. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. The argument is that a lot of the industry has currently got this entire thing upside down. They're doing fucking loads of those things and almost none of the things that would help clients stay longer and justify a higher price point. That imbalance is the trap that's keeping people stuck, but we'll come back to that later. Now, I've got some examples for you, but before we get into them, I want to make an important point. From here on out, we are talking about averages. Average retention and average price point. Not ranges like 6 to 12 months and not estimates, but actual averages. Something that I find time and time again is that most coaches don't actually know what their average retention is specifically, and they don't know what their average price point is specifically either. Most coaches tell me things like, yeah, my retention's decent, it's around 6 to 12 months, but that's not a number that you can work with. And what I have found, and without pissing on your bonfire and without wanting to be the bearer of bad news, when you sit down and figure out what your exact average is, it tends to be worse than you thought it was. And that's because when somebody asks you how long your clients stay, you tend to think of those 2 or 3 clients that might have been with you 12 months, 16 months, 18 months, because they're the ones that you know you've kept for the longest. What you don't immediately think of are the 5, 6, 7 clients that left at that 3 to 4 month mark, which brings that average down significantly. And the same applies to your price point. The last client that you took on might be paying you £200, but then you might have got 4 at 175, 3 at 150, and 2 at 125 because you've been building your price up incrementally. And obviously in that example, that doesn't mean that you are a £200 a month coach. It means that the last person paid £200 a month, where your average price point would be much lower. You will struggle to apply anything that I'm about to go through to your business without knowing your numbers. So if that's the case, I advise that after this video, you go and figure them out. So let's start simple. Let's see what happens if we fix the price, the monthly price at £175 with that target of £7,000 a month in recurring. Let's see what happens when we adjust retention. If we have a 3-month average retention, that requires you to be able to sign 13 new clients every single month in, month out, like clockwork, to be able to get to that target and stay at that target if your average price point is £175 a month. That's not a coaching business. That's a fucking glorified sales job with a bit of coaching on the side. And obviously, you know that what that actually means in practice is more time spent on content to try and get more leads, more time spent in the DMs, more conversations, more sales calls booked, more time actually trying to make sales to be able to maintain that. And what that means is that you've got less time to coach, less time to build relationships with your clients, which probably means worse results, worse retention, and no chance of justifying a higher price point at all. The very approach that you need to take when you have a poor retention is the thing that's keeping the retention low in the first place. Now, if you can increase your average retention by 3 months, which is actually pretty simple if you know the right things to focus on, now you only need 7 new clients a month, which I don't know anybody that can get 7 new clients every single month, month in, month out like clockwork. So let's not pretend that that's an easy thing to do, but obviously it's better than 13 a month. And obviously if we double that again, that's between 3 and 4 new clients per month. And obviously it goes without saying that to make 3 to 4 new sales per month compared to 7 or 13, that's a lower requirement for time spent in the DMs, for refining content, for trying to find new leads. And how much easier do you think it is going to be to get those 3 to 4 sales every single month when you're keeping your clients for longer and you've got better and more results to display on your social media and in your marketing to prove that you can do the job that you're telling people that you can do? All 3 of these examples have the same price for coaching, the same income goal, but all require completely different approaches from you and completely different lives for you. And before we move on, I know plenty of coaches that can't justify £175 a month yet. And if that's the case, these numbers become even more fucking brutal. So now let's bring price point into it as well and look at how many clients you'd actually have to manage on a monthly basis. If you are charging £125 per month for your coaching, and remember that's average price, that requires you to look after 56 clients, to have 56 active clients in your business to be able to earn that £7,000. At £175 a month, it's 40 clients. And at £250 a month, which is more than achievable, I have plenty of coaches inside the amplifier charging £250 a month. It's only 28 clients. Then when we take the retention into it, we can start to see how this all stacks up. So for £125 a month, you would need 56 clients to hit that £7,000. If you have only got a 3-month retention, you need 19 new clients every single month. If you are charging £175 a month, you need 13 new clients every single month, as we have already covered. And if you are charging £250 a month with a 3-month retention, you still need 9 new clients every single month. If you have a 6-month retention, £125 a month requires 9 new clients a month. £175 a month requires 7 new clients a month, and £250 a month requires 5 new clients a month. And then finally, with a 12-month retention, if you are charging 125 quid a month, you need around 5 new clients every single month, like clockwork. 175 quid a month, you need 3 to 4, and 250 quid a month, you need 2 to 3 new clients on a monthly basis to be able to hit and maintain that £7,000 a month target. Now let's think about somebody that's charging 125 quid a month and has a 3-month retention. Think about what 19 new clients a month actually looks like. That's almost 1 new client every single working day of the month. And on top of that, you've also got to manage 56 people. That's 56 clients that have got their own issues, their own things that they're struggling with, and each need support. But if you can get your coaching and your service delivery into a place where you can increase your prices up to that £250 mark, which I'm not saying is easy, but it is certainly achievable already, that's half the amount of active clients to hit that £7,000 and fewer people that we need to bring in. Hopefully you're starting to see the importance and the impact, the financial impact on improving your retention and increasing your price point. Obviously, we've already been through what it requires on a monthly basis, so let's actually look at the annual reality. For a coach that has £125 a month average price point and has an average retention of 3 months, for them to be able to hit and maintain that target of £7,000 a month, they would need 228 new clients every 12 months. Can you imagine how many leads, how many conversations that you would need to have just to feed the conveyor belt of a business that is set up like that? And the reason that that coach is only able to charge 125 quid a month and only has an average retention of 3 months is because they've got no fucking time to coach, because they are constantly needing to be in acquisition mode. With an average retention of 6 months, that then drops to 108 new clients a year for the £125 a month, 84 new clients a year for the £175 a month coach, and 60 new clients a year for the £250 a month coach. And with a 12-month retention, it's 56 new clients in a 12-month period for the 125 quid a month coach, 40 new clients for the 175 quid a month coach, and 28 new clients in a 12-month period for the £250 a month coach to hit and maintain that £7,000 a month coaching business. Now, these examples might seem extreme, or they might actually not feel a million miles away from where you are. But one of these coaches is having to find 228 new clients in a year, while one of them is only having to find 28 new clients in a year. The difference, all of it, comes down to retention and price point. The reason that a lot of coaches are stuck in that trap isn't necessarily because they are bad coaches. It's because the solution that they are being fed by mentors and the solution that they keep reaching for requires them to spend more time on their content, do more outreach, find more leads, have more conversations, and make more sales. But that solution does absolutely fuck all for the problem that they've actually got, and in fact, makes it worse. Every hour spent on acquisition instead of delivery and coaching keeps retention low and means you can't justify higher price points. I've said this before and I will continue to say it because it is completely true, and that is that you cannot market your way out of a retention problem. What happens is that the trap becomes completely self-perpetuating. You end up in this cycle, this hamster wheel. Low retention means that you need more sales. More sales means that you can spend less time coaching. Less time coaching means that you end up with lower retention. With lower retention, you get worse results, which means you can't justify higher price points. And if you can't justify higher price points, that means you need more sales. It is fucking exhausting. Again, more content, more outreach, more sales calls every single week relentlessly. But ironically, most coaches that are stuck in this hamster wheel cycle believe that if they could just crack their content or just find more leads all of their problems will go away, because that's what the mentors are telling them. Those problems aren't going anywhere until the underlying problem is fixed. If you want that version of a coaching business where you can justify £250 a month for your coaching and you have a 12-month average retention, the solution actually feels a little bit counterintuitive and counterproductive at first, and it requires making a pretty big decision. It requires you to start spending less time, effort, and energy on acquisition and more time, effort, and energy actually coaching the clients that you've got. It means admitting that you've got a retention problem, and it means focusing on fixing your service so that clients stay longer. And when I say clients, I don't just mean the one or two that you really get on with. I mean all clients on average. When you do that and people do start staying longer, that gives you more of an opportunity to get even better results with them. When you get even better results with them, you gather more and more evidence that you can actually produce world-class outcomes for your clients, and that, and only that, then justifies higher prices. As that price point increases and your retention improves, the number of new clients that you need every single month drops, and suddenly you've got even more time to coach and improve your service and get better results with people. This cycle can go in both directions, and right now most coaches have got it going the wrong way. The question that I think coaches need to start asking themselves isn't how can I sign more clients this month? It's what do I need to do so my clients don't want to leave? Completely different question that requires a completely different frame of mind. And if you answer it correctly, it will point you in a completely different direction. Those coaches that you see that are able to churn out incredible results consistently and aren't having to launch every month or every 2 months, and they're not constantly putting on the stories that they're looking for 5 highly motivated individuals, aren't in that position because they are better at sales and marketing and content. They're in that position because the clients stay longer. That's why they get better results. They get more referrals off those results, so they don't have to constantly keep seeking new clients out. If you watching this video are stuck in that hamster wheel right now, the decision that you need to make might actually mean slower growth to start with. But hopefully now you've seen these examples, you realize that that decision does need to be made at some point, unless you want to be stuck in this hamster wheel for the rest of your career until you eventually burn out and crash out. And obviously I realize that this video has been quite negative up until this point, so now I'm going to give you 3 brief things that you can be focusing on to start to improve that retention. Number 1 is your onboarding and expectation setting, which starts right from the moment that they pay. Most clients will make a decision if they're going to stay or if they're going to leave in that first 4 weeks. And 9 times out of 10, that decision comes down to, is what they are receiving matching what they were expecting? If you can get this right from day 1, you immediately remove the most common reason that people decide to leave in that first 4 weeks. Number 2 is the service delivery element. It's the actual experience of being your client. Does it feel like they are in a professional service that is entirely geared towards getting them the result that they want? Or does it feel like you're just winging it on a day-to-day basis and you're all over the place? Do they feel genuinely looked after, or do they feel like they're just a number in a spreadsheet? Number 3, and this is the bit that a lot of coaches don't like to admit that they need help with. Number 3 is coaching skill and results. One of the main factors that people stay is because they're actually making progress and they're actually getting somewhere. Your ability to empower people to take ownership for their own situation and help them get out of their own way is one of the main factors which dictates if people are going to stay or if they're going to leave. Do they believe that you are the right person to guide them to the result that they want? Your ability to move people forwards is the most powerful retention tool that you have. And if you can continue to improve the quality of result that you get, everything else gets far easier. The opportunity that you've got in front of you right now is not to become a better marketer or a better salesperson or a better content creator. It's to become the kind of coach whose clients never want to leave. Watch how much easier everything else gets from that point. And as hopefully I've shown you, the maths will start to work in your favor when you decide to pull the right levers. And I've got one final question that I want to leave with you. Do you want to be a coach that creates content, or do you want to be a content creator that does a bit of coaching when they've got the time? Because what you decide to do and what you decide to spend your time on will dictate which one of those two outcomes you get. Now, if this has changed how you look at your business in any way, shape, or form, make sure you like the video, drop a comment below, ask any questions if you have any, and finally, subscribe to the channel.